Right, what is going on, TradingView? We're up live and running. What's up, traders? We're also up live on YouTube. Getting my thoughts organized. All right, thank you for tuning into another live stream, another market mastery or chart mastery with Saber. We're gonna do the usual. Of course, we're gonna start with BTC. We're gonna cover the indices. We're gonna talk about a lot of things going on in the market. I'm just gonna hop right in BTC. Just firing up the YouTube stream so I can see you guys' comments. All right, we're up and running. So, talked about how we got here, right? Previous streams highlighted many things, and one thing I was looking for last stream was a movement up to the 61.8, right? I do have my fibs showing right now on the chart. Not my usual fib setup. Usually I hide the levels. We're just going to do that real quick. Let's do that. So my red line, the 61.8. Yeah. And we saw rejection there, right? We saw initial rejection there. Now, we should try to get a revisit, right? This first move down was a 50% bearish retracement, right? And it's kind of has me a little worried about BTC. We are seeing an Ether ETH rally that's not the strongest, right? Usually want to see more strength at an all-time high. We've seen BTC kind of get up there, stuck below that really long-term resistance. I'm going to showcase that before diving. And right, so based on this larger fib extension set, I can draw it from scratch for you guys, show you guys where resistance is. So I'm just going to pick a different chart. I don't want to delete these annotations. So if we take this swing high, right, the 2018 previous all-time high of like close to 20K, and we go to the bear market low, right, it gives us resistance like 63, 64K, depending how we match it up on the wicks. And that's still resistance right now, right? And our fibs real. I'll just let you guys look at this, right? So we did see a support resistance flip at 30K. We saw it hold up again over here. And now we're seeing resistance at 63,500 based on, this chart. I think my Coinbase one's more accurate placement on wicks, and that's why I don't want to delete anything. And I keep switching charts that way, don't have to change this one. Anyway, so for now, this last move I was looking for was a move to this red line. I did take out a small short late into this, right, and with a wide stop because I couldn't quite catch it up here, and I had to attend an event yesterday, didn't quite get to signal it. Then I signaled along today, right? I signaled along today because this looks like a retest, right? And I'd like to see this long hold up, and I'd like to see a potential smaller 61.8 move. Initial long got stopped. If you guys got a retry in, you should be in profits already. And I do think this can play out in two ways, right? I'm going to go to 15-minute chart. I'd hate to see a failed 50 from this swing, right? Like micro swing before the breakdown, right? So ideally, I want to reassess. Like the long target one is going to be 62,799, right? That would be the initial target. Like that'd be the most ideal retracement. What we can do at this point is wait for a chart to get up here. We take out a short, right, and keep this long open. And that way we let the chart decide if it wants to break out. We don't want to be out of that long trade, right? Because we got to break out retest. The next level I'd look out for is going to be where we saw rejection previously at 63,276. This would be target 2, and I would likely attempt the same thing up here, right? Keep the long open. It's like keep a long futures and maybe short perp or just sub account, just counter trade each other, and let the chart decide really where it wants to go, right? That's why I really like hedging. It allows me to run various positions at various times. You guys smash that like button for me. That's my consensus on BTC, right? Based on everything we saw, based on how I've been tracking it the last couple of streams, it's worked out pretty well. And yeah, we got some good pivots on there. All right, let's check out ETH/USD. I did have a target. I don't think we rang it quite yet. One day. Yeah, I still think the target on here is going to be that 49.67, right? And we're seeing what's going on over here. I'm going to turn on some fib levels that aren't on just to see if we're going to see potentially a failed swing. It looks like we're above them, so I'm just going to do this real quick, double click, turn these two puppies on, and actually it's right in between, right? It's literally right in between. So I'd like to see support at 44.41, and we've seen these wedges, like it looks like a rising wedge, but we've seen them break to the upside. We've seen them happen on various asset classes, right? Like we saw it could be doing this right before a bigger run up, and if you guys see the one from previously before that run up, I'll draw it, right? I'll draw it. So we did see a little bit of like a rising wedge or a channel up here. That resulted in upwards break. We did see another one later on. This one was bearish, right? And it broke back down to fib support. Over here where I had that one drawn. So yeah, we could see this channel break out to the upside. And there is like an untouched fib target that we should see break out. So right now, you know, we want to see this channel hold, right? We want to see 44.41 stay as support before continuing on to 49.67, right? And that was my ETH target from the last stream. All right, LTC I was talking about, we want to see a break above 200, right? And we're starting to see that. I believe we're above the 61.8, so we should be in a continuation mode. Oh, that's not what I wanted. We should be in a continuation mode. Still want to see that push above 200, right? We want to see this candle hold up. We don't want to see this end up being like a daily rejection wick. As of right now, it could be not looking promising, and it could also just be a retest, and that's why I said, hey, like we should probably long BTC. Doesn't quite look retesty, but there is, we should see a pivot here, or a flip of resistance turn into support, right? Like this resistance at 200, right? We want to see that turn into support, and we're likely seeing it. I'd like to see it on a larger time frame. Maybe we see a wick testing below, and we can assess continuation. But that 194 level is holding, right? So we want to see that upwards push. Like at 264 would be great take profit for me on that leveraged long. We did talk about Luna. We do have a Luna USD long that's open, and we're seeing a breakout, right? And we got into Luna like on this sell-off, right? It was like a 61.8, and it held up. Strong wick rejection, right? And we got in over here. And if this does blow off, if we do get an upwards extension, it's going to get really interesting. This set of extensions fully played out, right? In 23 was ultimate support based on that last bear drive. And now we're running a new set of extensions. I do think like the next target's 50 something, 52, right? So I think we should at least run up to 52, and then we'll reassess that there. That's our swing target on Luna. Yes, indices have been a little shaky, just like not shaky but volatile, right? Up down, up down. The ES is holding above the fib resistance. Let's look at the SPY. They're just a little different. SPY still has room to run based on my fib extensions on this chart, and they are pretty much valid, these longer term fibs. So I'm still looking. I still have an alert up there for 463. I'm not longing tops at this point. I'm not. The longs that I have are going to be like stocks, right? I do have a TNA long that's it's kicking butt, right? That's on the IWM, the Russell. And if you look at the Russell index, right, it's at an all-time high. The 3x leverage ETF is not quite there yet. I did have an alert at this level, and I'm not quite sure why. I think this is my initial take profit, and I believe it's off this set of fibs right on this potential range breakout. I don't know why I have that. I have an alert with no like annotation. So one thing you want to do is make sure to have annotations. But I mean, based on what price is doing, if you hold above 235, I would see it continuing up, right? This index, small caps have been range bound for so long, right? For almost a year, right? January 2021, we entered this range. So we've been in 11 months of consolidation. So I do want to see these break out, right? And I think when the Russell gets going, it gets going. All right. You guys that just joined, I covered BTC, I covered ETH, I covered Litecoin, I covered the S&P. Let's look at the QQQ and see what's going on. Still in extension mode, right? I think 404 is the next target, and I'm still not leveraging. I don't like buying on up days, right? I'm actually looking for like it failed 61.8 to short like a interim correction before longing again. Like our last set of longs on this already expired, but they were here or they were on this retest for 370 and they expired way in the money, right? So at this point, I don't have an open leverage position on the QQQ, but I do see a potential for like an interim correction. And I'm just gonna fib that out. I don't know if we're there yet. I'm just eyeballing it, and that's why I see potential. There's still room to run up, so I'm not shorting. Not yet. I'm gonna let it run, let it do its thing. What do you guys want me to cover? I'm gonna cover some more. Send me some tickers, shoot me some tickers, and I'll cover them. I covered the majors already. Send me some tickers, and I'll cover them. I'm gonna look behind me. I do have some charts that I wanted to cover. So let's do a recap. Some of our long-term holdings, right? Ford is looking great, right? We bought $15 calls. We bought $15 January 2022 calls, like on one of these breaks, like almost May, April, on the initial pop, right? And at this point, we're definitely in the money, and I do think we can get a push to 23, right? So for those $15 calls, I'm still holding, right? I will take profit at 23 on half, and if we push above 23, I will exercise the other half. That way, I get in at $15, and I'm getting like a 60% discount or something. Shiba, man, I'm still on a short. You're short on Shiba? Did you short it, Joe? Because I said Shiba was a short. I said Shiba was a short on Friday, and I was right. Fucking nailed that short. Are you commenting based on my story? Because I did share my second short on Shiba. So the reason I shorted SHEB is it failed 61.8. That's just what I do. I look for things that pump, and I short the 61.8 failure, right? We shorted Shiba the first time around here, got stopped. I said our next attempt is another test, the 61.8. That one played out beautifully. And then we had to take profit down here on a half, right? And then it ran back up. And then I shorted again, didn't signal this one, and then it came back down, right? At this point, where would I ultimately stop shorting SHEB? I'd take this wick low. You guys can see it on my screen. And then I would do that. And I literally think in terms of downside, how much more downside does SHEB have? And I stick to my guns. When I say I'm shorting something, I'm not full of shit. I actually have a position. I'm shorting it, you know? I think there's another 20% down on this, right? So, but from where we are now, another like 16% down at least. I feel like this triangle is already looking like a fake out, right? And yeah, it actually retested. So that was another good short entry up here. Do I think Poke can hit the 272? We will check that out. Hey, Joe. Dude, thanks for following my lead on that, man. You put a lot of faith in that short. Yeah, man, good job. I figured a lot of people ask me about SHEB and like Shiba, and like they're asking me to get a confirmation of why they should keep holding, and I posted a cryptic thing yesterday on like some of my personal social channels saying, if you get mad, I said people that get mad at short sellers for shorting their meme holdings should get mad at themselves for not taking profit, right? Like, that's just the nature of markets, right? And I mean, I did the same thing on SHEB that I did on AMC, right? You guys see how I rejected the red line. If you go to AMC, it literally did the same thing. I can clean this chart up, remove drawings. It literally did the same thing, and I had a finance friend that's like, oh, no, you're wrong. And I'm like, dude, like, you might have studied finance, but you don't read charts. Like, you don't read charts every day, right? So when we saw these multiple rejections at 59, that's when I shorted it, and then that was the top, right? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's look at idea. Let's look at Polk idea, USDT ideology on Kucoin. Jeez Louise, what is this thing doing, man? That looked like a nice consolidation and a great breakout, right? Like, I mean, yeah, man, this thing's up like 3x from the break, or 2x. All right, what do I think is happening with this chart? Bam, can't run away from fibs. They're like a magnet, right? I would really, if I was long on this asset, I would definitely take some profit, like while it's close to 0.72, because that is the 61.8 retracement, right? And then I would wait for consolidation, right? Nothing goes up forever. I don't know what's moving this chart, but if you get it close below that 0.72, and yeah, like this would be a good partial take profit, especially if you're in from here in like U3X. Like, if I was in this chart, I would at least take out my initial. Right, at least, or maybe like my initial plus, like my initial plus my initial. I'd totally do something like that. All right, let's look at Polk USD. I wonder how come we're getting more people tuned into the YouTube stream rather than TradingView, because I'm only posting the TradingView link. I guess you guys just have the ring and notification bell on the tube. Polk literally did the same thing, like we had the 1.91. I don't know what 1.272 you're referring to, Cooley. I don't see a 1.272 end term right now. The only one I see was down here, and I think the next one would be 3.79, right? It did reject off that 61.8. And this is what, second day in a row it does that. This is why on previous charts, like ideology, when I looked at that, I said, hey, it's really close to that 61.8. You might want to take some profits, right? Things tend to consolidate there. And yeah, like reassess. So it is at the next 61.8. Polkadot, or Polka markets. I guess dot is Polkadot. And then the next level of profit taking, I think, would be like 3.69. And the ultimate 1.2 is up here. And I don't know if that's the one you're asking about. You guys on TradingView, show me some charts. Y'all been super quiet today. I would appreciate how quiet you are. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. We gotta get over this hump. We gotta get fired up. Smash that like button. And let's look at the energy index. So a real life play that we're playing. We do have $7 calls, right? We are $2.50 in the money. Did a partial take profit. I don't want to sell anything else on energy fuels. I think we are in a little bit of an energy crisis that nobody really wants to talk about. We're seeing this kind of pattern do a bear trap and a bull trap, right? And I think, like, if we were to fib this, I think it would be like, what is going on? It would be like a 1.272 on the low. Was it? Yeah, right. So it totally, like, did a range, it broke down, it held up, and then it broke out and did another fake out up here and then retested the trend line. And now I just want to see it close at 9.32. And if you think like energy is not in a crisis and we can't see energy levels just spike, you are wrong. Because if you look at natural gas, right? Nat gas. Right, this is a real life commodity, right? And in the last, like, it's up 25% just since September, right? If you look at where it was like in June, right, it's up 79%, and it's still pushing, right? It's still pushing for now. I'm not saying it's a good time to buy gas, but what I'm saying is that we are in an energy crisis, right? We saw lumber spike during COVID. We see some things, just material costs go up. And I do have a decent size energy bet going to the bull side. And it expires in a couple of weeks. It's in the money. I'm just going to let it do its thing for now. We had played Cannabis. I do think Cannabis is looking ready to start turning again. This might be my bias. Maybe I really want to see it start turning again. Fibs aren't too compliant right now on things like Tilray. It's below the 786. I think the only fib I can get on Tilray right now is I can't, man. Let me try looking at the previous move and see what happened, because we did long here, right? We did long here, and this was a 786, right? We did long at like 587 with $7 calls. Like this was a year ago today. A little over a year ago today. And those calls did really well. What happens if I drag this same swing low fib a little further out? It's still below 786, so it's shaky. I can't find a good liquidity low. Maybe off this previous range we can. I don't know if I'm confusing you guys or giving you guys ideas on how to better place fibs, and hopefully it's the second. Like, hopefully you guys are learning how I use this tool, because I'm pretty good with it. So yeah, I feel like if 1067 holds, then we can see an attempted rally back up, right? And we know that when Cannabis gets going, it really does. Especially charts like Tilray. Would you guys want me to cover some tickers? Y'all been super quiet. Please show me some more tickers. SPCE, I talked about this last stream. It's holding above that 1922 level. I did have a previous stop here, right? But I did end up buying lower, and we can just delete that because it's not even a stop anymore because we're going up. Is this a 61.8? Should we profit take? Maybe. I'm going to give this one a little bit more time, right? I'm going to give this one a little bit more time. I want to see it get back above 1969 and then potentially continuation. What else do you guys want me to cover? I always want to do a short 23-minute stream. Last couple of streams were fire. I feel like not getting a lot of participation on TradingView. What else? So Quantumscape QS, we do have an open play. It's getting close in terms of time, how much time we have on this trade. We did see a revisit to the $28 mark yesterday, and it definitely held up, right? And now we're seeing it as support. I think the next target on QS is going to be 34.93 and the following one 37. Checking back on the calls, they're 40s. So I feel like next up day, next like big up candle, I'm going to take some more profit just because we're running out of time, right? We're running out of time. And yeah, so we want to see 30.66. We want to see some of these levels get taken out to the upside. GSPI. What's moving these, Cooley? I've been out of the loop on like news and stuff. Okay, that's probably not the GSPI you wanted. There you go. Going to the daily. I don't know if it looks stopped out or not, but we did see a rejection here previously at the 61.8. Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, man, I think it's gonna get up to $13, man. This is this looks decent. Let me check this lower swing. Yeah, okay. So I do see a potential on a continuation here for like a 30% move. This isn't on FTX, is it? Can we leverage this anywhere? It's only on Kucoin. Dang it, man. So that would be like my next target. Good chart. Good eye. I think, yeah, 1270. And the next target would be higher, like $20 or $23 would be the next target. Good chart. What else? I would say, Joe, if you're still watching, I would cut some of those profits on Shiba. Just like take a partial profit. It's actually breaking down beautifully. You like take partial profit, secure your initial, and then let the house money multiply. Yeah, it definitely rejected that trend line, so I see a lower move. Yeah, 53. Does it line up with the other fib? Does it line up? Totally lines up. Yeah, I think 53 is the next target. But we need to see like this range break first. Alright guys, thank you all for tuning into the stream. I'm not getting a whole lot of participation from you guys. So I'll catch you guys again on Friday. I want you guys to bring the heat on Friday, right? Like let's get the chat fired up. Let's get these streams fired up. You know, last Friday was fire. One day was pretty good. I don't know why we're getting the low participation energy today. So, yeah. I'll give you guys a minute to give me a couple more tickers. And if I don't get them, you won't see me till Friday. And if you want to connect before then, just hop into Discord, right? There's links on our TradingView account to get to the site. Off the site, you get in Discord and you can join us in some of the chats. And yeah, we can choose some charts back and forth. Other than that, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. Please smash that like button. Invite a friend next time, you know, especially if we got you in a play. Like if I got you out of your SHEB long into a SHEB short and you made some profit, or if you play the SBCE or any of our trades, like invite a friend, you know, like the more the merrier. Let's get these streams hyped up. Thank you guys. Thanks for the love.